All right, we're back here with Andrea Jones-Rooy. If you didn't see their presentation on data science in general, the pitfalls and caveats to do with it, that should be on our YouTube as well. Go look for that. But this time we're talking about, that was the presentation to us nerdy folks who might want to get deeper into the weeds about things. Now, Andrea, coming up on March 1st, you're actually going to be trying to bring this to some other people. Tell us about this project.
Yes. So I'm doing a show that I've wanted to do. Thanks, by the way. I've been doing a show that I've wanted to do forever. It's called the Data Science Spectacular, and it's all about demystifying data science, in particular for folks who don't necessarily work or make a living or occupy their time in the field, though those folks are, of course, welcome. But the idea is to actually break down what's going on in data science. What do we mean when we say machine learning or algorithmic bias? How do you do things like turning a whole bunch of words like all of Shakespeare into data? And it turns out there's really clever and cool, interesting ways to do that. And my promise is that I will do it in a way that doesn't totally suck. And it's not extremely boring and dry. And I'm going to be giving pieces of a lecture, but it'll be interactive. And I am a stand-up comedian and a circus performer. And so I'll be using both of those skills to make it somewhat palatable. I think data science is awesome, but not everyone wants to spend their evening doing data science. So we'll dress it up a tiny bit.
So your PhD is in political science.
Yes.
What's your title at NYU?
I'm the Director of Undergraduate Studies and a visiting associate professor of data science at NYU.
And you teach, what do you teach there?
I teach two classes. I teach Data Science for Everyone, which is our first course for the major and minor. And it's also a course that a lot of people take, and that's the only data science that they take. And I aim to get them to understand, go from, I don't know how to write hello world, all the way to being able to do supervised and unsupervised machine learning and be thoughtful and ethical and rigorous about it by the end of the class. And I also teach our most senior class in the data science major on natural language processing. So I think, if you see the other video of my presentation, I love turning abstract things into numbers and being thoughtful about it. Language is so abstract, and even when it's written out, it's still very abstract. And so the art and science of turning human language into words that we can understand and kind of better understand what people are thinking and saying and what they mean and what they value is really interesting to me.
So you've got, your resume is political scientist, data scientist, comedian, circus. Which came first, or is it all kind of intertwined?
I would say none of those. I became a scientist by accident. I was going to a PhD program in political science because I wanted to write big essays about like the nature of war and the inevitability of conflict and blah, blah, blah. And I, like, my senior thesis had the word paradox in it, like it was one of those. And then I got to grad school and I had ignored the word science. And so I was in a big shock when there was just nothing but numbers for years. And so I kind of was like, one of the reasons I'm such an evangelist about other people getting comfortable working with data and data science is that I was basically forced to. I had grown up dancing and acting, and as a matter of coping, when I felt really insecure about my math skills, I would go do like dance and yoga, and I did figure skating, I did synchronized swimming, and finally I found a place called the Detroit Fly House, which is a circus school, and that was like the thing for me. And comedy I'd always wanted to do. I was obsessed with stand-up comedy growing up, but I was too afraid to do it for a really long time, and it took living in China and being like, you know what, if this goes badly, I'll just leave the country to get me to finally do it. So they all kind of keep me somewhat sane. I recommend all three to everyone. They're the finest pursuits there are, in my humble opinion.
Data Science Spectacular is going to be at Caveat in Manhattan, correct?
Yes.
March 1st, but also streaming, correct?
Live streaming, if you go to caveat.nyc and you look on their calendar for March 1st, you can get tickets to the in-person or to the live stream. Hopefully we'll be able to be we'll be on live stream no matter what. If things are weird, we might be only live stream, but hopefully we'll be in person as well.
Can you pull up that picture with the fire?
Oh yeah.
We don't know. Just to show people that you do have credentials as the circus performer.
Yes.
We don't know if there's going to be fire at the spectacular.
Right.
Would be pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I've tried to let them do I tried to get them to do some fire before the pandemic, but they were like, let's try it. And we lit it and they were like, get out of this theater right this second. So there's this, and those are point shoes. Thank you very much in the comment. And I have a few others I can show you. This is not particularly safe for work, but this is something I did. I worked at a circus in Shanghai for a few years. And so this is on a trapeze. And I will not be doing this, but you can look at it anyway. Here I am with one of my co-stars. His name is Jimmy. He's awesome. And I do lyra. So there'll be lyra and trapeze and possibly fire.
Okay, so there's something to look forward to for sure, definitely.
Yeah. And by the way, bed of nails is much easier when you're wearing point shoes. So it looks more hardcore, but it's way easier. In case anyone was like, what's the secret? Point shoes. All right,
that's great. So,
yeah, thanks for asking.
I wanted to make this a part of what we've been doing, or I've been trying to do a thing, what I call the Skepcom series, where I try to talk to people who, try to do outreach in a little bit of a different way. Had Toby Ball talking about his UFO history podcast, which is presented like a true crime podcast. And then we had Stephanie Kemmerer, who talks about conspiracy theories. I was just going to ask you to put that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now it's great to see you out there in the world, trying to grab people who might not care otherwise.
Yes, that's the idea. I mean, as I said, everyone's welcome. If you invented, your own algorithm and it's named after you, fabulous, you're welcome too. But it's especially for people who kind of are like, what is this? It's like, what's data science, but you're too afraid or anticipatorily bored to ask is kind of the spiel.
Perfect.
Yeah. And you will learn why pie charts are the worst. I see some knowing nods in the audience. I like this crowd.